Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Cheryl Underwood, and you're tuned into the hottest news station on the planet, Hot 702.5.
Hi. Hey.
What's up? All your favorite artists.
4, 3, 2,
This is Mila J.
1.
On Hot 702.5fm.com.
What is the deal? Yeah. Welcome to Let's Talk Love. I am so honored to have you guys tune in with us live in studio at Sister Kim's Kitchen. It is our 1 year anniversary being on air. Therefore, we have to celebrate.
Gotcha.
So make sure you guys tune in. Give us a call if you guys want to tap in. 702-551-5261. We'd love to hear from you. This is where love meets beauty. I am Ms. Love Doctor and my beautiful co-host,
Beauty on the beat.
Welcome. So,
It's hard to hear, friend.
all right. So we just gonna get into it. So we don't have a structured show this year. Basically, this year we are talking about the fact that we have been on air for an entire year, right? So it's only befitting that we definitely talk about the gratitude. We have to be talking about how grateful we are for this opportunity, how it started,
Oh my God.
how it's going, and what we got coming up in the future, right? So I will let, first of all, we always ask, and then let me tell you guys something. We have a live audience as well. So we will be tapping in with the people that are in the audience with us. We do have also another sponsor is Friends Daiquiri Bar, wherever the camera is up there. It's like there, you can't see it. Anyways, this is the unicorn drink. It is definitely named after me because I'm so unique, and there's so many things that you don't know about me. It's just glitters and rainbows, and we're just gonna leave it at that. Because if you don't know, you don't need to know. Okay, so I always have to tap in, make sure I figure out, like, how was your week? How are you feeling?
Like, we've been on the air for a year, bro. Like, that's what our week has been. Like, I've been celebrating all week, weekend, weekdays. It didn't matter. It was rolling over, okay? It's like,
We have been celebrating. We have
like,
been
we know,
celebrating.
getting prepared. Like, we be outside, and I really, really appreciate you bringing me on this journey. I'm trying not to cry, but I'm just excited about just, where we went, like all of the different events that she had us at, just supporting each other. And I'm like so grateful that she brought me on, because I just be speaking out of my mind. She be on the thing. She makes sure she fact check all of that. I'm just telling you my opinion. She be on her shit. So that's why I really loving how we engage and how we banter and how it's like it's never an argument, but we can always go and just be like, well, this is my opinion, this is her opinion, and her opinion always be facts. My opinion just be off.
Not always. My opinion is my opinion, but I also spit facts. We gonna say that. We definitely gonna say that.
She does the research.
So, absolutely, I definitely appreciate you coming along on the journey with me when it all started. I asked her straight up, like, you want to go on the radio with me? Or, she's like, yeah, sure, let's go. So we did that. It takes a lot for me. Let me not say that. Let me like, how do I want to phrase it? Like, this is something that I genuinely can say I feel some excitement for. I think it's just like a crazy accomplishment due to the fact that it was a crazy year, right? So I'm very, very grateful of the simple fact that we were able to push through and have a full year of shows. We did have conversations that were a matter of the heart, which were very important to me.
I got my
because it all is about the fact that we can have 1,000 conversations. We can talk till our ears turn blue. We can let water flow out. But are we going to have a solution to these conversations?
Yes.
How can we mend and build bridges where the bridges have been burned, buried, and fell in the ocean and dissolved? How can we rebuild these bridges? Because at the end of the day, human connection is very, very important.
Yep.
And human kindness is very, very important. And restoring and repairing love is very, very important. So that's and hence why we talk about love.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm very grateful for Sister Kim for allowing us
Her
to
mom is
broadcast
cool.
here live. She's over there.
Hey, Sister Kim. She more Auntie Kim for me.
She has adopted us. She's Auntie Kim.
Auntie Sister Kim.
She makes sure that we are good. She feeds us.
Kool-Aid.
She taps into the show. And it was just an easy transition. It was an easy vibe. I asked her. She said yes. She said yes.
Ooh.
So when people do stuff like that, like it really, really melts my heart. And I want to make sure that the gratitude is there. We definitely have to give a shout out to fine ass Icarice
Wow.
for believing in us.
Thank
Because
you.
let me tell you, I asked her time and time again to treat me like a baby, an infant, and carry me and teach me the way. And she said,
She
no.
knows it. She knows it. She knows it.
I'm like, what do you mean? No, this is like my first radio show ever. She's like, I wouldn't have come looking for you if I didn't think you had it. So
every room that we have been in, whether it be a speaking, engagement type of thing, she fits in completely. She already is. I'm like, girl, whoop. I mean, you know, the Women Empowerment Summit that we went to was fire, right?
Cool.
So we love them. But I was like, my sister already know
Can
how
you
to
call
do
Kate?
all of these. She know how to, she could be up there right there, right now. She already have everything ready. It's just that it's coming.
it's coming.
It's coming. So for anybody that supported us, that came with us, that rocked with us, we wouldn't be here without y'all. So we want to just say thank you to the utmost for believing in us, believing in her vision that she had. I thought I was just on the ride. No, I've been actually learning shit and focusing more on me and building my own self up and open up some wounds and like
Creating
healing.
boundaries.
Yes.
And we talked about sex and all kinds of nasty shit.
That was an uncomfortable one, but it was good because I needed to hear something like, what y'all do, what we do, what?
Yeah, we talked
You know?
about a whole lot of things, but we definitely talked about loving our black kings. We talked about loving our black queens. We talked about African culture. We talked about safe sex. We talked about parenting. Our guest of love on parenting was Kashmir Bowman.
She back there.
And she is in
Support.
studio today. And our very first show, let's not forget, we have to give gratification
We were so
to our
fucking
first
fun.
guest.
Listen.
And how she treated us. She treated us like it was her show.
Like, no, she
And took care of us.
She was like, she told us what to do for Valentine's Day, what we'd smoke on that day.
Before that, she took us to Canna Stars. Shout out to Canna Stars.
We going there tomorrow.
Canna Stars love us, and we love Canna Stars.
We'll see you tomorrow.
And they gave us little gifts. They gave us things to elevate our minds. And baby. Shout out to Ty with Bake OGs. She was our very first guest. And she's also here in studio. So
Yay. Thank you, love.
Still supporting, still showing love. So we definitely love you. We've been
at different places. Just going to the we part of the
Let's back it up.
NAACP.
Hold on,
We
hold
got
on.
some shit, bro.
We have joined the NAACP. However, I have to definitely give a special thank you to Rude Mike.
We
have to give a thank you to Rude Mike.
Happy belated birthday, but
Rude Mike
yes.
opened up the doors for us to be here.
That
Period.
Christmas present was
Point blank.
amazing.
And it was actually her doing, which we both know this story. I don't know, we've probably told this story on air.
Yeah.
But she put in for a raffle and she won the raffle. And the raffle was a 1 month promotion on this here station, Hot 702.5. And it was to promote your business for 1 full month. And she gifted me the raffle.
'Cause she deserved
and
it.
he was like, who does that? Like, that was so selfless. Who gifts something like that? But we didn't even know what we had.
Ooh.
We were still working. We were busy. So she gave it to me. I put it in my pocket. Thank you, friend. And we kept it pushing. And he was like, no, just on the simple strength that you guys did that, he gave us both
Ooh.
a 1 month. So we both were on the air for 1 month, and that pushed me to be in front of the screen, which I have been avoiding for years.
We started doing live.
I've been told to go live. I've been
fun.
told that the information that I possess needs to be pushed out, and I'm like, I don't like being in the camera. I don't like people being in my business. All the stuff that I don't like, and I don't like it. But here I am in front of the camera 1 year later on our own show. So yeah, Rude Mike. You know we got mad love for you. We know you started your own radio show, radio station.
Yep.
So we are going to be happy to be a guest on there. Wink, wink. Don't you forget about us. He told us, don't forget about him when we become big. And we're like, what?
He told us to come back April, and April is when we started.
In April we started our own show. So it was just like,
when I say
crazy.
God been looking out, he been looking
always,
out.
always.
Now the devil threw some curveballs, but God be looking out.
The raffle tickets. Okay, so now that we talked about our little gratification a little bit, we definitely have to talk about the feeling of like being on air for 1 year. Like,
it is for me, it's nerve wracking. My biggest one was me coming without no hair or no makeup on. Like, that is still, and that was just a few days, like a few weeks ago. And to me, that was so, how can I explain it? I felt so naked, but also needed to speak on that, because that's something that I don't necessarily want everybody to know that. You know, I don't necessarily want people to know my insecurities, okay? And that is something that I'm working on, to just love me in my own state of mind. And my own state of being. And just being able to do that, because you wouldn't see me outside without a full face of makeup. I'm coming outside lately, you know.
She been outside.
So either with no hair on, no wig, no makeup, like I've been putting myself out a little bit more, and that wouldn't have been a year ago. So again, it is growth for me, because yes, I'm beauty on the beat, and I want to stay keeping you on beat, but I want to make sure that my heartbeat is for me, not just the shell of what I show y'all, but what is actually inside of me. So that's something that I am super, super proud of. And I'm hella scared to do this by myself. She made me come on here by myself one time, because I really enjoy us both being together. But like, she went out of town, and I had to come into the studio. Remember that one?
I would sit with you.
You weren't here. Like, you see this?
Studio.
Yes. I feel like I feed off of your energy, because it helps me. It calms me. Like lives, I used to enjoy doing lives. That's how we started. We would be on live for 2 hours, bro. 2 hours.
We would say we're going to go on live for 60 minutes, but the people would be engaged in the conversation.
Man.
And I've been asked, honestly, lately to bring it back. So what I would do is we would get into the topic, and I would have the audience give me definitions of everything, so we could definitely break it down and get to the bottom of it. So, and actually she's tuned in, Miss Jennifer. What's up, Sophia? Jennifer was like, you got to bring that back, because we was breaking stuff down. We was getting to the nitty gritty of things. But if we're going to talk about the film or anything, I'm going to talk about the same show.
Okay.
I didn't realize, like, that is the whole purpose of healing, right? You get to a place where you have to dig into a spot that just does not feel good. It's not comfortable. It's ugly. It hurts. You know what I'm saying? It's just something you don't want to deal with. So when you came and made the decision yourself, not to wear any makeup, not to wear your hair, I didn't know that it was that deep for you.
Yeah,
when we started to walk up to the show, when we started walking up to the station, she stopped and she was like, I can't do it. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, what's up? You know, I'm still bebopping. She's like, I can't, like, her anxiety just started to kick in, and she started to cry, and she's like, I can't let people see me like this. But I've been pouring into her for the last 3 to 4 years, like, you're beautiful. Like, I don't get it. What's the problem? You know, but it's not my insecurity to carry. It's just for my insecurity to understand of her. So that was super, super important that you did it. Like, you did it. You pushed yourself out there. And you've actually been pushing yourself out there a lot more.
A little bit more. I kind of like myself without makeup. I'm like, bitch, okay.
That's kind of cute, right?
They said, okay.
They said I was cute, and you cute.
I'm working on.
Yeah. So, the feeling for me, I would say, is it's just like surreal. You know, like how you do speak about things, you do talk about things, but then to actually see them in front of you is a different thing. And it just pours a lot of love and a lot of gratitude into my heart. And it also fuels my grind. Let's not get it twisted. It's just making me push for more, making me want to make the show bigger, making me want to make the show better, try to figure out different angles that we can come across, making sure that we're reaching the right ears, minds, bodies, and souls, because that's where it counts.
I'm glad she said that, because everything that she been saying for this whole year has been happening.
Where's the jet? No.
It's coming. You already put that in there. She said in 2 years. I kid you not.
In 2 years.
In 2 years, you're going to see us with our pink jet, okay?
I have a picture of it in my phone. Yes, I do. I just need to make sure we got money for fuel. And I need to take a class on how to fly it, because you ain't leaving me in my jet. So, all right. What is your favorite show? And I kind of want to tap into you guys in our live audience to find out what your favorite show is. So if you want to let us know, just kind of give us a little finger and we'll tap in with you.
You wrote it down.
What was your favorite show?
Because I was like, what?
You told me your favorite show was Emotional Intelligence.
Hell yes. One. Thank you. Because again, I didn't know the realm of being able to identify your triggers, your emotions, certain things that, you know, why you do what you do. Like, I didn't understand that part. So,
right.
So when you broke it down, when we had like a really in-depth conversation, it made me like, okay, Marquita, I can't just keep exploding or doing certain things that I was doing. So it helped me check myself. Because it's like, okay, well, if they know my triggers and they know when to make me snap, why would I give somebody that much?
You're giving them the key to driving.
Yes. And I don't like nobody driving me. So therefore, I got to learn how to check myself. My bad. I got like distracted. You know,
What did you see?
I just seen Didi. Didi was like, it's just a smile. Yeah. Like our friends, like our support system has been, to me, finding a village, especially being new to Vegas. It was like, y'all accepted me. Y'all, you know, allowed me to like become family. And that's, for me, family, I don't always get, I ain't gonna say I don't like all my family, but you know, you don't like
on air.
You know, you can't choose who you're born with, right? And who is your family. But the ones that rock with you, the ones that help you grow, for me, if you have done something for me, I want you to be my family.
Right.
Like, I accept you as family, because people don't have to do nothing for us.
Yeah, that's true.
So for me, I thank all y'all. Thank y'all. Because Brandy, our friend Brandy. That's how I met her. That's how I met everybody else. So Brandy, we love you too. Hopefully to see you later on. But like, I wouldn't be able to be around these great women, great mothers, great just entrepreneurs. All of them got to hustle. All of them, okay? So it's just great to be able to be, you know, around some real thugs out here, okay? In a good way. They're not bad thugs. They're the good
that
thugs.
On the hush.
But like the good thugs. My bad. I got you.
You can too. They know we have people in studio, so people are coming in.
My mom,
and
my
it's
dad,
super
kids,
nice to see people
my
walk
daughters,
in. Hello. Okay, so I'm gonna piggyback off yours and then I'll say mine.
Okay,
We'll do it like that, and then you can piggyback off mine. Okay. Okay, so emotional intelligence for me is huge, because once I started to tap into myself and how I act with people, how I talk to people, I learned that I am passive aggressive. Right? I say my feelings, but I may not say them like in the most pro-social way. So it may not come across as caring as I mean for it to be, but I mean what I say, if that makes sense. You know, so I learned also in that mix to learn how to check myself and become a better me and be how I'm, you know, be in a space of being treated how I want to be treated.
Yeah.
And my purpose of saying what I'm saying is probably because I feel like I'm being mistreated. But I'm not saying it in a way that's like, hey, you hurt my feelings, because I wasn't taught like to be like, you hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, you hurt my feelings and I didn't like that shit.
Yeah.
You know, so it's learning to like checks and balances and make sure you like, okay, so immediately I'm like, why the fuck did I say that like that? I didn't mean it like that, but I know it's out there. So I gotta apologize or some shit, because it's word vomit. It's fucking out now. Shit.
Right.
Damn. I did it again.
And I did it last night.
I told myself I wasn't gonna say it like that, and then it came out like that anyway.
It'd be like the sarcasticness that comes out. I know that I'm sarcastic with certain people, okay? So when I was like, so are you going, I was like, I'm not even going to say it like that. I would really want you to be there. I really, so that was something that I did to make sure that it was like, I'm not telling you something, I'm letting you know that I want you to be there. I would appreciate if you were to be there, because I really want to see you. That's where I'm learning how to. I can say it to certain people, but I can't say it to everyone. So I'm learning how to say it to everybody.
And then what's important about emotional intelligence, and this may not even be like in the realm of emotional intelligence, but breathing. Ooh. Taking deep breaths to me, like it feels like when I get to a place of frustration, it's like all like. So if I take a deep breath and then I can like, okay, it's like I don't know if the anxiety or whatever it is that's building up, it's like I can like, okay, now I can say it a little bit better. Like take a couple deep breaths, figure out what you're saying. It was just me, period, because taking those deep breaths like clears your head. And it was deeper than just my communication style. It had to do with my memory. I was starting to lose memory because I wasn't breathing correctly. My core, of course, we got to tighten that up. And if you're not breathing correctly, your core is not making the proper exchange that it's supposed to make. And then it filters the oxygen, which is all the bad shit that's in you that you need to get out anyway. So breathing really has a lot to do with that. Let me see, what's my favorite show? I didn't even write mine down, but I wrote yours down.
Come on, I know you got. What about the one we were talking about?
What?
Let's talk about it.
We was talking about what? Say the word.
Sex.
We was talking about the thing that grown-ups do.
Yeah.
She be getting on my nerves. She was like, what? We talked about sex for a whole month. So we talked about safe sex. We talked about nasty sex. We talked about. It was quite interesting. We brought in sex toys, self-pleasure. Self-pleasure probably was my best. You know why? I'll just make that my best because I don't really think I have a best. But I'll make self-pleasure my best on the simple fact that I used to sell sex toys. So I am a little educated in that field. And then, I am a grown-up that likes to play with toys still. So it's very important that you stay a kid as long as you can. So, but yeah, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Dang, that's hard. What did I tell you?
Well, you did tell me something. I
did tell you. I don't know.
No, because I'll think about it. Okay, so what was the one that we said?
So let's tap into other people and see what they're.
Okay.
So we have Tia, who was also a guest of Love.
Yes,
she was on our self-love. Was it her self-love episode, Tia? It was self-love, and it was more important, it was special because it was our mother's birthday the same day, so it was very important to me to have Tia, who is also my sister, my baby sister, and she was our guest of Love. So what was your favorite show?
So far, my favorite show, because I feel like they definitely got better, obviously, with time. My favorite show is the show with the guy. I can't think of his name. I'm so sorry. Forgive me now.
DJ or the relationship coach?
The 2-hour show?
The one that came to your panel.
Marquand. Cheating. Let's talk love and cheating.
Yes.
No. You know what, Marquand? He was supposed to be here. Shout out to him. You have gotten a couple compliments, sir. Just to let you know.
That was my favorite one too.
So we got two favorites for the Let's Talk Love and
Church.
Cheating. I think I love Let's Talk Love and Cheating because I love that we had 2 hours to have a real conversation about something that is near and dear to everybody's hearts. And we also were able to collaborate with another hot team member, and we and he was a male. So we got things from a male perspective. But there was a twist and a spin on the male perspective because he has never been in the male's position. He has been put in the female's position. So he's able to speak on it from a man's position of actually being cheated on and never cheating back.
Yeah.
Somebody's trying to say they ain't believe him, but I believe him. I'm like, you could lie for nothing for free. That's cool. You keep free lies. That doesn't make a difference. But yeah, I definitely, I thought that show was pretty dope. I like when we talked about the Black Kings because it was very important to shed light and love on Black Kings because we have to. It's important. Like, it's so important that we love each other. It's ridiculous. It's my goal, it's my mission, it's my passion, and it's going to happen before I get up out of here.
Okay.
So,
she said it.
Miss Jen said her favorite show was when we were talking about the distance between Black men and Black women and what we believe caused it. You touched on some very good stuff because there's a lot of O's. She loved it, and you know that this is my ish.
She do like.
We love you too, Jen. Thank you for always tuning in and being a part of the conversation, whether we're live or whether we are on air. Christine said, hey. She said, hey, Tia Bia. Kato said, hey, ladies. Hey, Kato. And thank you for being in the studios. We're going to go ahead and give a little shout out to her because she is in studio.
Came through.
And she flew in town yesterday to be a part of this very special celebration. So, thank you. Now, she didn't talk.
Who else will want to say who's their favorite show?
That's her to zip it.
Okay. Cash, like when we talked about parenting, though. Right? Because she was on there. And she don't support no bum mamas, okay? She don't always say that's going to be on her shirt. No bum mamas, okay?
So you say your Cashmere said your favorite episode was what?
My second favorite, because my first favorite is actually the same one, the 2-hour show. I really enjoyed
The cheating show? We're going to have to run that back. We're going to have to run it back because clearly it's a fan fave. Was it the topic or was it the fact that it was a 2-hour show?
I think it was the gym.
The gems that was being dropped, the information that was being provided, the little flow and ebb of the little whole conversationes. Okay, all right, that's pretty cool. So let's see if anybody else on airs online said their favorite. What's up, Vernita? Come on now. What's up, Vernita? How are you? All right, so we definitely had some guest highlights. You know, because we had some guests of love. We loved absolutely every last one of our guests of love because they were our guests.
Yep.
And I'm looking forward to some new guests. We've been getting inboxes of people who would like to be on the show, and they got topics that they want to talk about. But that's how you know that people have things that are near and dear to their heart that they want to get off of their chest.
Yep.
But they probably tired of just rambling and making random posts and arguing with people. I actually commented on somebody's post the other day. And then I inboxed the person who made the post, the general, and I told him, stop making these confrontational posts. It's making me want to argue with people. He was like, oh, love, doctor, you know you got to ignore people. I said, I ignore every last one of your posts. He pulled me right in. He said something about women and children or whatever. And we ain't gonna talk about the race, but there was a man that was like, those kids ain't nothing but a paycheck to them. They just want to get food stamps and welfare. Before I knew it, I was like, first of all, these are human beings who needs love, compassion, 2 parents to raise, to become healthy adults. So you looking at kids as a fucking paycheck is creating another fucked up ass individual. Period, point blank. Secondly, food stamps can't pay rent, fam. What about medical? What about their therapy? What about their school activities, their food, their clothes? That shit don't pay for none of that. Child support ain't enough for none of that. Stop playing with this shit. And stop acting like kids are paycheck to anybody. And if you're having a kid for a paycheck, you need to do something with yourself. And I'm not going to tell you what that is. But you need to check yourself. You probably need to go check yourself in the space and get some mental health, because you having children for a paycheck is creating fucked up individuals, which we have to in turn create and heal as adults. That's dumb.
Yes.
That's dumb to me. And I think I'm just near and dear to it because I'm in that field. And these kids is out here struggling, and half of them is struggling because y'all some fucked up ass parents. I'm gonna just say it. You know, so at the end of the day, it's like, listen, this is what we're gonna need for y'all to do. We're gonna need for you to get yourself together. Check yourself, get yourself healthy, so you can be healthy for your children. They need it. They need it. If you are two people who are having kids and y'all can't get along, come see me. I'll help y'all ass out with a parenting plan so that you guys can figure it out so your child can be good. Y'all don't gotta be best friends. Y'all don't gotta be, don't sleep together no more either. Cause y'all be doing that.
You can never
stop playing with.
We haven't even had that subject. That's been one that we've been like. I've been wanting to do it, but she like, nah, we ain't ready. We ain't.
It's so many topics I've been staying away from because, like I said,
I be on it.
A lot of people don't know the year that I had, so I'm gonna just go ahead and drop that. Okay, so I literally went back and watched every single show. I watch every show. I critique every show. I write every show. And when I look back at the show, I look at the date. And I look at the date of what was going on personally in my life at that time. So I kept going back and forth with the date of June 7th or June 8th. It was like June 8th show, right? And I had a live open forum, Let's Talk Love with Couples in Business, following immediately after the show. I looked at that show like probably 5 times trying to figure out who the hell is that person. Who was I? How did I operate in that skin? Like there was somebody else driving this car because, baby.
Your coping mechanism was up like a mug.
My little cousin overdosed off of fentanyl the end of May. My grandfather died the beginning of June. It was exactly 2 weeks within the two of them. So I never even got a chance to tell my grandfather that his baby grandson was gone. So in my mind, I'm getting emotional. So in my mind, he saw his grandson in heaven, was like, what the hell are you doing here? Like, how you get here? Why are you here? You know, because I never got a chance to tell him that. But for me to still like do the show, and then my health started to struggle because I was handling so much stress, not handling it, looking like this, but it was, my body was like, yo, either you do something or I'm going to do something. And it started to do something. So if you watch that show, I'm doing like this. I did like this a couple times because everything had locked up in my body, and it was pressing on my nerves, and it was pressing on my eye. So my eyeball was hurting. Like I was screaming out loud. It took, my best friend flew into town then too, and me and her doctored the hell out of me. I was down for 2 weeks, but I still got my ass up and did the show. I still got my ass up and went to work. I couldn't believe it. I was like, who plans a double funeral? Who does that? But it happened, and so every time she would want to bring it up, like, let's talk about grief, I'm like, hell to the no. Not today, Satan. We are not going to do that. She's like, okay, well, let's talk about, of course, I want to talk about my losing a boyfriend due to murder. And she's like, okay, well, nope, not yet. It's like so many things that I have just been pushing away from. I am a very private person, so I never said it on air, everything that was going on. But for me to, that's why I said this year, for us to be on air a year, yes. And all of that was going on, and that's just May and June. Okay, we ain't even talked about the rest of the year, but I definitely appreciate all the love and support that was provided, and we pushed through.
She definitely pushed through. It was a lot. It was a lot that she was dishing. Like, to be able to be across from it and seeing it though, it was like, as a friend, you feel, I was in awe for one, because again, she handles business no matter what. It's like the show must go on. Like, you know, And it's like, I'm still here, so I gotta still do what I'm obligated to do.
Bills ain't gonna stop coming because somebody passed away, and that's the unfortunate part about the situation. There's no compassion for people. It's like, okay, you're hurt, keep it pushing. It is what it is. You'll be all right, you know. But a lot of people are suffering like that, and I think that's where my love and compassion comes in at. Is because it's not just me. It was multiple of us in my immediate circle who were dealing with some heavy shit that we almost couldn't even be there for each other because we was too busy trying to figure our own shit out.
Yes.
So, you know, listen, when you have somebody that's going through something, please try to be there for them, but be there for them how they need you to be there for them. It's cool to be there for them how you want to be, but it may not be as effective sometimes. Mm-hmm. So, all right, we done talked about some heavy shit. We gonna keep it pushing.
Yes.
What about guest highlights?
I really enjoyed DJ. The
DJ So Hype.
DJ So Hype. He was dropping some gems just about being married, just about being young in the industry. You know, it's nice to see successful people because we've talked about being scared to be successful.
We've talked about scared of being successful.
In one way or another, I don't know. It's just been something that, again, I haven't really fully gave my all in anything, and that's why I really was like, okay, my friend got her stuff together. She is ready to push the world needs to hear what she's saying. So I was like, especially when they were like, oh, you won a radio thing. I'm like, I'm not ready to be on no radio. I ain't got this, I ain't got that. I am not trying. My friend got it already. Here, you take. She is ready. She has all her flyers, everything. Please give it to this young lady. You have always been that inspiration, and that's again your circle of your friends. We ain't talked about that, but that needs to really be talked about because
real friendships, huh?
Friendships, because if you hang around people that are crabs in a bucket, or if you hang around people that don't want to necessarily elevate, that shit is deep. You cannot see yourself doing bigger things if you keep hanging with people who like, oh, well, you want to do that? Oh, that seemed like a lot. Oh, you want to, you know, like that right there. It's like, I love that you dream big because I used to dream like big, and it's like, oh, well, that's a fairy tale. No, that's what I want to become my reality.
And if you want it, you just gotta, at least try. If you don't try,
dripping like water.
Don't
you
start.
Want it, I got it.
Candy. What's her name? Don't nobody know Candy though.
Hey, but we had the last 2 years we've been rocking and rolling and just
we had a good time. We had a good time. I like that. I like that guests are wanting to be a guest.
Yes.
You know,
I need to be on your show.
Some people, I was like, you know, would you like to be a guest? But some people are like, hey, so, and then that's crazy too, all within itself, because we can't see who sees it, and we don't know who's watching, unless you drop a heart, unless you drop a comment. We don't know you're there. So it always blows my mind when I see somebody and they be like, I like your show. They always say, I like your podcast. And I'll be like, well, you watched it? They was like, yeah. You know, like, really?
Yep. Or we out in the street. I seen your post. Oh, you said, like, what?
They be like, Mizz Love Doctor. Ooh, I saw that somewhere. I'm like, really? Did you?
Somebody said we had fans. I said, why we got fans?
No, they said you had fans.
They said we had fans.
They said, because she said, oh, I know they love Mizz Love Doctor. They was like, you got fans too. But let me tell you, like, even when we did our training, when we did a training with Hot 702.5, make sure y'all follow and subscribe. They told her specifically that everybody in the studio appreciated the way we go back and forth. But I think that's how we even got our dynamics into the fact is like, because we're both Capricorns. But I'm a December Capricorn and she's a January Capricorn, so we're similar, but very different.
And she's in the beginning and I'm at the end.
I like how you did that. Alpha and Omega. So the conversation, so she was asking them, like, should she change? What should she change? They was like, no, like, you know, you need to be yourself authentically because that's what people like. So clearly you do have fans. And you didn't even realize that.
I didn't even realize it. I'm working now. I'm like,
we got fans. Let me know if y'all a fan. Drop a heart in there if you're a fan. I will say, of course, one of my guest highlights, was we put Gerald B. Paz Mizz.
Yeah.
Because he came from a space of a coach perspective and not just necessarily a man's perspective. He tapped into the fact of like, men do have feelings and this is how we kind of operate, and women have feelings and yada yada yada. So, and he's on there now saying that he loves the show. He's like, he's a fan.
I hope you feel better though.
We definitely appreciate you being a guest of love on the show. You gave a lot of insight,
but his perspective is good. Like, like you don't want men just spewing ideologies and things like that, because you don't want us women doing the same thing. So when you have a man that like can really talk about authentically, like being married, understanding like, hey, I wasn't the best husband at this point, but then
accountability,
like, like all of those things, like that is who you can say like you are a coach and you do your best part for doing that. You know? And that's why, even though I wasn't in the studio, I really liked how they are good. When we did the one at Mariposa, I liked when they were talking together, because the one that he kind of sounded like me at the end, he was like, he can veer off. I was like, okay, now seeing it, somebody else do it.
It's not a you thing. It's not a you thing.
But I understood how it looks, though. When it's like, hey, this is not what I'm necessarily speaking about. You don't have to just point on that. Like, this is what we're trying to get to. You're focused on that one thing.
On the topic.
Because you remember the guy that was, she brings me back to the topic all the time. She'll give me a look and I'll be like, okay. And I can see it through there. So I was like, okay, so she gonna keep me back. Because I can ramble. I know that.
He said, I see some more shows in between us in the future. Facts. I'm ready for a live event. So I don't know, maybe we can get with Sister Kim's and we can do Let's Talk Love here.
Yes.
But it's time for us to get out there. It's a couple people done hit me up and they want to have these conversations. So what would you like? What's on your heart?
I'm ready to talk about. Are we talking about the future? What we gonna do?
We can talk about the future.
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about.
Like, what topics would you like to see? What's coming? And then same from you guys. What topics would you like to see coming?
We can talk about deadbeat mamas. I'm ready to talk about deadbeat.
You ready?
Mamas.
Wait. Flag on the play. Okay. Flag on the play. Because let's be sure you ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We're going to bring Cash back to talk about the deadbeat moms.
Definitely. Deadbeat moms and dads. Because they both are the same thing. I want them. I want us to be able to talk about that, because it be little shit. I ain't never had to experience some of these things, but I don't like seeing the people that I love have to experience those things. So for me, if I see you, I feel like I'm in it. Like, I feel like, no, I don't like seeing, people do. I don't know. I ain't want. Yeah,
you go ahead. You can get into it. Because when I tell you it was a big ass debate, even though y'all know I love a good debate, but baby was so defensive to the deadbeat moms, and we're like, friend, no, baby.
It wasn't defensive. I just feel like as women, it's a lot. She held a child for 9 months.
That's cool.
And pushed it out. No. That is not just, it's cool.
I'm waiting for the point, because I'm still going to stand on it.
And you have to feed that baby. You have to be able.
Let's bring it back.
Did
she have sex to have this baby?
You had to sacrifice your life in order for that child to come here.
Should she have wrapped it up?
Yes, but
should she have got an IUD?
Yes, but
what about the implant?
No.
Oh, okay.
If that's the same thing, it took
the
her
pull-out method.
It take her and a nigga to do the same thing.
Listen,
so for me,
I don't want no kids, right? I think I'm gonna be a shitty parent. You know what?
But
it's probably best for me
realm.
not to have no kids.
Everybody
right?
Don't have
That's
that,
okay. So it goes back to the point of, if you have a baby, you better get your
Give
ass
them
ready.
Grace.
Fuck that grace. Period.
Give them grace.
You have grace to make mistakes, but you don't have grace to create an individual that's not healthy. You don't have grace for that. I'm sorry. There's books, there's classes, there's seminars, there's coaches, there's therapies, there's everything that you could do to try to be better. You want to be better at sports, you get your ass out there and you play hoops. You want to be better at tennis, you do that. You go to school, you read books. You want to be a good parent, figure it out. There's no reason for you to be a shitty parent. Period. And I'm not saying no men or women, but you're defending the fact that there are not deadbeat women, and there's a lot of deadbeat moms.
I didn't say that there were deadbeat women. I said that I try to hold us as women. It takes a lot to be a woman. For
It
one,
does. I'm a woman.
and then to be a mom on top of it, it takes a lot as well. And the only thing that I was saying is that yes, men get to come and go, but we are the one that are left with children, no matter our mental state, no matter anything. And if we are able to push that child out and risk our life to be here, that's all I'm saying. They had to birth a child. That's where the grace comes in. So
Okay.
that's the only thing. I'm not saying that deadbeat mom
I
don't
give him
exist.
grace for that.
I don't say deadbeat mom don't exist. I'm just saying as a woman, I'm a woman, so I identify more with women, and I want to empathize with them as well. That's it.
I am
That's
a woman as well, and I have a whole lot of empathy for women.
No.
However, I don't have any empathy for deadbeat parents. None whatsoever. I can honestly say I'm a product of it. So therefore, if two people decide to have sex, you better make a big ass decision if you're gonna be parents. And you need to make that decision before you stick it in or let him put it in. And I'm just keeping that shit all the way 100. So at that moment, I don't want you to be like, I don't want no kids with her. I just want to have sex with her. It's not gonna go that smooth with me. God knew what he was doing. God knew not to give me no children. Cause it wouldn't have went that smooth. It wouldn't have went that smooth. It wouldn't have. Because I already had a whole life plan and I had a vision of how to raise a child, unlike how I was raised. Period.
And that's why I wanted to
So
be a
therefore,
mom.
there's that give and take. But I honestly, truly feel once you lay down in the act, and that's why it's important for young kids and teens when they're ready for sex to have that understanding of what it takes to be a parent.
Yes.
What it takes to raise another human being.
Yes.
It's not cute. On the baby, pat the baby, and all of that shit. What happens when everything else is going on with this child? What about their mental health? What about love? What about compassion? What about all of that things? And then they're left to have other people in the world take care of them when they're fucking deadbeats. Because they didn't want the child to begin with. They just wanted to bust a nut. That's not fair. That's not fair to a child.
No.
So at the end of the day, wrap it up. Get a snip, men. If you know you don't want no kids, get a snip.
Yes, it's not gonna make your dick
It's not
little.
the end of the world. You ain't got a baby coming out your little pee-pee hole and all of that. Just get the snip. If you don't want no kids,
My bad.
hey, I don't know, but we just flowing.
My kids, my bad.
They are teenagers and they're thinking about sex. Stop playing with it.
I just said,
So,
I said getting snipped. You know, guys, they
snip.
look like they
Get it
gonna get
snip.
smaller. I be
Ladies,
like,
if you don't want to have children and you know that you are not mentally, physically, financially in a place, just get you a little birth control. You know, there's abstinence. I know that's hard for you, but it doesn't matter to me if you're not ready to be a parent.
hey, I know I
So,
wasn't ready to be a parent.
That's how we already know that topic is going to go down.
it is.
Because it goes like this every time we had this conversation.
I be like,
Let me see. What do I want to talk about? I want to talk about something fun. I want to talk about something love. Let's talk about marriages, and not like being in a marriage, like the wedding.
okay.
You know, talk about weddings. We could talk about like everything that I do as an officiant, and just like the love that's in the air. Like I get to be a part of a person's happiest moment, rather if the relationship work out or not. I get to be a part of
Yes.
that happiest moment when it's like when you may not kiss your bride. I always got tears in my eyes. I'm like, bro, don't you stand up here and cry. They taking pictures of you.
No, do you feel like when people say like if he don't cry as a man, if I come down the aisle, like I'm cutting it off. I'm not.
What if he's
doing
not
it.
a crier?
It's a lot of women that will say like if my man don't cry when I come down this aisle, we not getting married.
Gerald said, let's talk about marriage sex. Whoa.
Marriage sex, it's a little lazy.
Okay.
We can talk about that, but we
So,
can talk about that right now.
What y'all think? What y'all want to talk about?
Anybody? Dad, what you want to talk about?
I want to talk about
Bringing people home from work and stuff.
Here's the nigga.
All right, I'm just saying, like we can.
So,
I want to talk about
okay, we listening.
what you were just saying. That psychology of two people looking up, right? So there's this pheromone that's going around that attracts the man to the woman to the man.
Right.
We ain't thinking about no finances and stuff. We're thinking about how good she looks.
The
how good
chemistry,
you look.
yeah.
The chemistry. Bam, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, then what
Okay.
happened
You
after
want to talk
that?
about hookups?
We talk about hooking up. Hooking up.
That's what you want to talk about.
We're gonna talk about hooking up and what else? What else y'all got? What you got?
Respect.
The Kane. What you got? Respect. Ooh, that's heavy. I know we did talk about friendships and the benefits of friendships. We talked about we are
Lesbian couples.
ooh, lesbian couples. Do we have any LGBTQ plus that would like to come on and be a guest and talk about what it's like to be in a lesbian relationship, what it's to be in like what all the letters?
We had a bisexual man. You had an interview with
We
him.
did have a bisexual man. That was a
Whoa,
dope show. That was a dope show because
I
that
forgot about
perspective was mind blowing. And
like,
he was tapping in.
I was like,
He was tapping in with some gems, and I like that. I like the
learned a
fact
lot
that
that
he
day.
talked about that he is bisexual and he's male. That he automatically gets this stigma of being a big ho ho ho. And he's like, no, I'm faithful to whoever I'm with. And I was like, that's pretty dope, you know. But do they believe you though? And he said, no. So okay, we can talk about lesbian couples. I think we should talk. We are gonna talk about grief. We're gonna get to grief. We're gonna talk about. We talked about self-love before, right? But I think on a different level.
I think we need to keep talking.
Traveling and dating together.
Savings, finances. I think we need to talk about all
Finances.
of it. Yeah.
Conflict resolution is
talk about
definitely on the list because a lot of people don't know how to handle conflict, and I feel like people are losing their goddamn minds right now.
Yeah.
Long distance relationship.
Ooh, what about they say long distance relationships? Are they
know
a thing?
about them.
Are they still a thing? Do they work?
Do people? Yeah. Do people?
I think if the person likes their space, that it could work. So yeah, we could talk about long distance relationships. We're gonna talk about postpartum.
That.
We have to talk about postpartum because it's pretty important.
Yes, it is.
And what else? Dang,
That's a lot. That's already our first
12
shows.
10, 12 shows. Yeah. So
Dating and like living, like one of my friends, she wants to get married and live in two separate homes, but same girl.
being able to live in two separate homes.
She wants to.
I heard that. Married couples living separately. Hi, Perry. If Paris, here goes our gratitude again. If Paris didn't invite me to come and do the 360 event, we would have never got the raffle.
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't have been on guest on the show. And then we would have never been having our own show for 1 year. So
Let's
you
talk
already
about
know we
people.
love you, Perry. He said, let's talk about people with bad credit trying to establish serious relationships. Because it's a real thing. And Paris is dead ass serious about what he's saying. He don't mess with no girls with bad credit. So
what's your credit score?
you gotta know it. But I think it is important.
But is it okay for us to say that though? Because if we ask the mayor how much you making, you asking us on our credit score. So
I guess you gotta date somebody that's on your
double
level.
standard. Double standard.
Oh, we talking about double standards. Oh, we definitely talking about double standards.
I feel like
I got some heat for double standards. Y'all ain't ready for that.
Because we talked about it, but it wasn't. We didn't get in it. We didn't get
we
in
ain't
it.
talk about it because I got some heat for y'all for double standards. Accountability. Ooh, how many of you have this? Not many. He said both of them. Both of them asked. So
Both of them, some of them, all of them.
all right, so we definitely appreciate you guys tuning in with us for our 1 year celebration.
Yeah.
So shout out to Coleman up there. He said our jerseys was fire, so we're gonna go ahead and give you a little bit of
Back.
well. Okay, because we got a video of me.
Boom, boom.
But yes, we love you guys so much, and we have to give a special thank you guys for tuning in
Yes.
all year with us, talking about love. Even all my love haters, y'all still be tuning in, and we
Love Hater
cannot
Club.
wait to explore more and see what else this here platform has for us. We pray that this show gets to the right ears, to the right heart, to the right spirit, so that it can grow the way that God see fit.
Yep.
So until then, we'll see y'all next week.
Deuces. Happy 420. Happy 420 tomorrow.